I guess are we good to start the interview?
Can you even
Never.
call it
Is everybody
that
ready?
based on how it
Never.
started?
Any,
Never.
anybody need has the illusion of professionalism been shattered? I don't know. Anybody need to get a drink or go to the bathroom or anything before this happens, or are we good to go?
I already went
Now
and
that
I
you've
got my
said
drink.
something.
I did both of
Now that,
those things.
Now that
now
you've
that you
said
said
it,
something.
I've got to file my tax returns.
Dude, it's too late. It's 2 weeks too late.
Not in Canada.
Also, doesn't like your mom do that for you or something? Are you on your own taxes?
I like how we're interviewing Rory right now.
Oh, are
man.
you talking to me?
No, I'm asking
I thought we were
Brian.
talking about Brian.
No, you're Canadian. You don't have taxes. Ryan, like,
Oh, me? I thought we were still talking about Rory. No,
Why would I
I have not done this yet.
What?
I don't live on
He's
my
got a
own.
point. Why would he ever want to talk about me?
aren't you like still a dependent?
I am dependent.
So you don't even have to file your own taxes then? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have taxes to file.
Alright, there you go. So never mind.
Brian
So that's
Brian
not
has
even.
There is no income for Brian, so taxes are irrelevant.
Except,
You
you
know,
know,
They aren't taxing you
Amiibo.
on those crazy shirts you sell. All three Kirby shirts you sold.
I've sold 16, excuse you.
Ouch. That's a low blow.
I mean,
No,
it
it's-
sucks when you've made like 25 shirts and everyone just wants the Kirby shirt.
I know that shirt's not even like good compared to the other ones. Like compared to like some of the
Is that
other.
a compliment or an
If you
insult?
make no, it's like the other shirts are like really cool, and then the Kirby one's just like, hey, here's Kirby holding a star rod.
Yeah.
Like, I swear to God, if you made the Rusty's Red Dead baseball shirt, like, that would sell like crazy. Because everybody loves Rusty's Real Deal Baseball and Red Dead Redemption.
By sell like crazy, you mean me, Miles, and Kobe would buy one.
Yeah, me and all of my roommates would buy a shirt.
I can only
And
hope you
all
get more
plan out days
roommates.
to wear it on the same time.
Brian, you should have just made a Skyrim mod and charged for it while you had the chance.
Oh.
Kirby shirt.
All right. Oh Jesus. Okay, so let's go ahead and start asking some of the questions, I guess, because we had a couple.
Sweet.
We
Yeah.
had some great ones and we had some very, very bad ones because it was 2 a.m.
Don't you mean
Very-
don't you mean even
The
better
very
ones?
questionable ones.
All right. So first off, like I think something I'm kind of curious about is where did the name Insane in the Rain Music come from exactly?
Everybody asks me that, and I have no answer.
You just decided so like I mean, so there's none. You just like that it rhymed.
Well, okay, so I mean, if I had to think of one, that would be the one. Okay, I also tell the story, which I can't even remember if it's true or not. Is that when I used to do Pokemon competitive battling when I was like in the 6th grade or something, my first like team was a rain team with drizzle and stuff like that, and so I guess you Insane in the Rain comes from that or something. But I honestly have no idea where I got the name. It just kind of happened one day.
Because I mean, Pokemon's like your thing, right? Like
Yeah,
half
pretty
the
much.
music on your channel is Pokemon.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
Have you
And that-
ever
that's it.
tried a Magikarp sweep?
I've seen it done, but my balls aren't ready enough for that.
So like, was it how early? Like, was music like always like a huge thing for like in games for you, or was it something
No.
like you developed as you got older?
More as I got older, kind of thing. When did I first notice? Like, I think it started off with me listening to some other people do covers, or I really don't remember. This was such a long time ago, but I mean, I had like music itself as a background, and then like just learning to play the piano as a young kid, and then eventually I realized that that games and music had something in connection. So I guess that made it cool. I really don't remember a lot of this stuff because it was so long ago as a kid.
Fair enough. I mean, I guess your channel's been around for a couple of years now, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I think I started listening like around 2 years ago.
Hmm.
Um,
Back the days where I didn't know what a razor was.
I mean, I don't know, like, no, like I think it was during one of the summer of covers,
Yep.
that I found it, and like since then, like, I always had like a couple of your songs like I actually like have like on my phone that I just kind of like play, as I'm going around. I think some of my favorites. Like I love like your cover of "Dearly Beloved." I think it's just one of the best like versions out there.
Mm.
Which is interesting because
Thanks.
I don't really like the song that much, but like you make it fun to listen to instead of just the same, the same like yeah the same 10 seconds over and over again.
How could you
Yeah.
say that?
No,
I would just
okay.
I would just leave Kingdom Hearts 2 on the title screen just for that track.
No, I mean it's good, but like his version's so much better.
Honestly, I kind of find it hard to agree with like anything that's saying my music is good from any cover that's like at least a couple months old. Like I only find like I only can like actually listen to my covers that are like a couple months old, either like any older than that, and then I start to cringe a little bit.
Because you're constantly growing, right?
Yeah, and I'm just so like self-critical usually that it ends up like manifesting itself in that way.
I
Is
mean,
there
I get that. Like, I mean, okay, like for example, when you redid Sticker Brush Symphony, like the new version is phenomenal. Like that's
Yeah,
one,
okay, that was an exception. That one's pretty good.
like.
That one.
Easy exception.
Okay, I actually nailed that one. Never mind. Oh man, yeah, like that version of Sticker Brush is just so. What I love about it too is like a lot of the covers that you hear, it's like, oh, we orchestrated this song, and so like you know you
No one's ever done that before in the history of Dota.
I know, and I'm like, oh, hey, instead of it just being chip tunes, now it's got like drums and horns, but it's like it's the same thing. What I love about it, like your arrangements is it makes them feel like entirely new songs sometimes, and I think that's really cool, and I think that's what sets you apart from a lot of the other.
Yeah, that's what I tried to do. I've never liked people who just. Well, I guess there's a certain nostalgia effect you get when you just take the original one and you just put the instruments onto like the music onto new instruments. But when you take the song and you make it completely different in the way it's arranged, but there's still like a skeleton that relates back to the original. I think that's like what makes me unique in a way.
Yeah, but then it's like, and that's what I love about like Sugar Rush Symphony. Like you listen to like the original, then you listen to like the Brawl version of it, then you listen to like yours, and they're all entirely different songs.
Yeah, but I mean they're the same song, but they're different songs.
Yeah, they have entirely different feelings to them. You get entirely different stuff out of it, and I think that's what I love about music is that there's so many different things you can do with it.
Mm-hmm.
That it's really more than just like what notes you use and everything, and that's just like what kind of approach, like how do you approach it? Do you like find a song and then like just take a song that you really like and try to find a way to go with it, or like how do you even come up with these ideas?
Usually it ends up like that. I have like certain listening binges I do, or I find a new artist like every week or two, and I just like stumble upon them. Then I either try and copy their style or just like assimilate it into everything else that I have, and then try and copy it in the way that I do my music. Because you know, imitation is like, I think it's the best way to grow as a musician is you look at the people who are better than you and you just do exactly what they do. And while copying, like you shouldn't copy things like verbatim, but the good thing about that is that it's pretty much impossible to copy verbatim in music, so it like it solves the problem in itself.
Especially with something like jazz.
Sense,
yeah, no, especially with something like jazz where expression is such a huge part of it.
Yeah. Although I mean that is like a little more difficult because I'm using computers and things, but I'm trying to get around that.
I mean, I generally think that you have like a very unique style. Like I haven't really listened to it and thought that you were like imitating it.
Yeah,
Mainly
no,
because well, you talk.
No, go for it.
You're the
Hey,
guest.
You are the guest.
It's the internet.
I can't cut you off like that. I'm
Nobody
sorry.
has homes on the internet.
He's Canadian. He's
Not-
too polite.
Oh.
Nobody has homes on the internet. Not since PlayStation like home went down, whatever that was. All right. So one of you go. Somebody.
I was just gonna say, like your style of music is really unique. Like Chris was saying, it's like I think he showed me like the Skyrim, the Skyrim one that you recently uploaded.
Yeah.
And I like didn't recognize it at first, and then like I slowly like recognized bits and pieces of it, and I think that was really awesome because it was like I was experiencing the music again for the first time. So thank you.
Those are cool moments. Like there are some people who like have a similar style to me, but are like way more technically proficient that most people don't know about because nobody listens to jazz.
Which is a damn shame.
Yeah,
It
it's so
is.
And it's not even that like I think like jazz is like better than other kinds of music, but I just think it's so easy to find something like interesting in jazz, just
Mm-hmm.
because so much of it is personal expression.
Mm-hmm.
So much of it is less about um, like the technical accuracies, and because there's so much improv in it that like you can listen to the same song done by like so much like countless like famous like jazz musicians like Coltrane, Armstrong, like everybody. They can play like the same songs, but they'll come out entirely different
Mm-hmm.
because so much of it is about your own style,
Yeah.
and that's just phenomenal. Where would you I'm just kind of curious. Is jazz like your favorite kind of music, or is it just where you consider yourself proficient? Or
Um, Probably both. I think it's like for me, it's such a wide genre that it can encompass like pretty much like it's like a ton of stuff. Like there's a very fine line between like rock and fusion jazz, and so like fusion jazz is close enough to rock for me that I can enjoy it the way like in that sort of context. It's just such a wide genre that sometimes it loses its definition, but that's what I like about it because um, you can say that I like jazz, but that and like people won't know if you like this kind of jazz or that kind of jazz. And I think the difference between the genre is so much more than like the different types of metal or something like that because
right.
they all sound the same pretty much. Oh, maybe I might just be inexperienced in that kind of genre, but with jazz, it's just there's so many different kinds of things that it has a lot of creative freedom that you get to have.
Why do you think that is? Well, what is it about the structure of jazz?
I guess it's just the way that it's defined. It's never really had a jazz really doesn't have a definition as much. Like rock, it's pretty much guitar, bass, vocal, and drums almost always. Like rock bands, but like I understand that there's sometimes not vocals, but it's just the way that like jazz players have evolved and gradually separated from each other, and like the history of the whole genre is so much more diverse than other genres. I think that it allows for a lot more room of variation and growth between different kinds of musicians who want to innovate.
So you kind of get a better feel for, like, you get a better talent pool with different styles among the same type of artist, right? That kind of thing.
Somewhat, I think I'm not really sure what you're trying to say there, but
Yeah, I should rephrase it. Okay, how about something like you get like 10 artists and they all have a
Mhm.
unique style, but they're all under like the umbrella of jazz.
Yeah, I mean the umbrella of jazz is so wide that you could have a ton of artists who sound nothing like each other, but they all it's all technically jazz. So there
It's
you go.
true. Then you have so many things too that are just kind of like offshoots of jazz. You know, you have stuff like swing. You have like
Which is like the cornerstone of jazz.
yeah. God, I love. It's just I don't know. That's like what's phenomenal about it to me. Is like I just think it's really
Mhm.
cool. Like the Skyrim video like blew my mind. I don't like Skyrim like at all, but I just thought it was
Mhm.
incredible to take like that kind of soundtrack and put like a jazz spin on it. And as
Yeah,
like
well, and some people disagree with like that kind of thing as jazz because it's almost like too close to just like a modern slow pop or something like that, or like just sort of like a jazz version of progressive rock. That's what it's supposed to be. Actually, it's supposed to be. I don't know if you guys know Rashad DB. You know that guy?
no.
I'm
Oh,
unfamiliar.
he's another cover artist. He did a progressive rock version of Streets of White Run. By the way, I can never say that right. Um, and so I just kind of tried to emulate the way that he did it, and then add my own arrangement to it using what I had on hand.
Okay. Huh.
I mean, it's really I think it's really interesting to just if it's all possible to like trace where people get their styles from and how different tracks or different people influence that the way that people play.
It's true to kind of like hear those influences. Cause yeah, cause you can take like so many like big acts from the last couple of years, and if you just like trace like who inspired them, you can trace back and figure out like oh this little bit of like their style came from this place, and this other part of their style came from this other artist.
Hmm.
Um, and sometimes it's like really surprising where like where they come from too. Like I listen to like a lot of rock, and one of the bands that I was into for a while in high school, well, largely because of Guitar Hero, was Ben Camaro, and reading about them, I saw that like one of their biggest influences was Elvis, which like was really surprising to me because you like listen to the two of them and you don't really hear the similarities, but like you just like look into it more, and like they're talking about how they got like their song structure from it, and you start realizing that even though they don't necessarily sound like Elvis, they would structure the songs in the same way to have like as many solos as possible.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just like phenomenal. Kind of like to just trace the roots and how much music, and I guess really all art, just kind of how everybody learns from each other and borrows from each other.
Yeah, it's all like really connected, and it's like just the fun of going back and trying to like connect the dots is I think is pretty cool, and that's what like music historians do, I guess.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to be one of those.
I think there's something beautiful about that too, because I think some people might say that, oh, you're just ripping these people off, you're just copying them, but really it's like, how are you ever going to move forward unless you
Exactly
build off of what's already been there? If we all just keep starting from the beginning over and over again, we're never going to get anywhere.
Yeah, that's the thing that like jazz musicians tend to do. There's a process called transcription, which is where you you take a solo that someone played and you transcribe it note for note, and then you learn to play it exactly as they did. And that's like the number one way to, at least in my opinion, the number one way to build up your just overall skill at the instrument, because you take what other people have learned before and you can just apply it to the way that you play. And by analyzing it or just like memorizing the notes and learning to play it along with the record, it transforms the way that you play your instrument and understand the genre. That sounded really cheesy.
Oh man. I mean, sometimes
I sound like my teacher. Oh my god.
Yeah, sometimes things are cheesy. It's just the way it goes.
Wait, so how many instruments do you like play?
First off, I don't think that the number of instruments is a measure of one's proficiency at them. But to answer your question, I play I think I've played at least once all four of the main saxophones: soprano, alto, tenor, and baritone. I play piano, of course. I dabble in drums. I'm not very good at them. I played clarinet at one point, and I could probably pick up an instrument that you threw at me, but I can't guarantee I'd be that good at it. I just choose to focus on piano and tenor, my two main ones I have right now.
Okay.
I mean, the saxophone is just a beautiful instrument, so what else do you really need?
A hollow phoner.
More of them.
More saxophones.
Yeah.
Cue the
man.
careless whisper.
You should just
Oh, that's right. We had a very stupid question on here.
all right.
Uh-oh. This is...
Rory, do you remember what it was?
Maybe?
So, one of the stupid questions is, I know you play a lot of saxophone. For Halloween, have you ever contemplated going as the sexy sax man?
I've thought about it, but I couldn't pull it off. I definitely couldn't. Unless I got one of those.
I mean, you look just like him. Let's be honest.
Exactly. Well, I have a couple. I've had a friend that's done that actually, and he went to his college cafeteria or something, and then just got up on one of the tables and then just played a sax and then ran away and ran throughout the campus just serenading everybody whether they wanted it or not.
Which sexy sax man are we talking about? Because there are like 500.
We're talking about
the sexy sax.
There's only one.
I mean, you've got
what is his name? I think it's Rodrigo something.
Well, there was Sergio.
Sergio Flores. Sergio
yeah,
Flores.
I think that's the one.
Sergio.
That's the one we're talking about.
They had him on SNL.
That's how you make it. That's how you.
He was in a SNL digital short. He would just kick through walls flip. Yeah. Oh my god.
Who's playing a flute?
What?
That's a penny whistle I have.
Oh.
Oh, I play that too. It has 9 notes on it.
I was gonna say the penny
Good.
whistle. That's a man's instrument.
Everything. Should I just pull my ocarina out? All right.
Damn it! I knew you were gonna bring it up.
Well, I mean, yeah. I play all the.
I can't go a single Hammer Space discussion without having the ocarina.
I haven't brought up the ocarina in a month. Okay.
That's because we haven't done anything in a month.
It's not true. All right. So, all right. What other? Let's see what other things we got here. All right. So, okay. So, what actually convinced you to start this channel?
Oh boy. Okay. There's an actual story behind that. So, when I first started making YouTube videos, I actually did 3D animation tutorials for Minecraft.
What?
Oh no. No.
They were so bad.
Did you use
It was like
Mixamo?
seventh. No, no, okay. It was 7th grade prepubescent me using my laptop like internal microphone and like this loud ass mouse I had, and I was like teaching people how to make blocks, Minecraft blocks in 3D animation software.
Oh no.
Is this a hidden talent?
A hidden talent.
That's great.
It's a talent. It's a talent that was never meant to happen.
That's fantastic.
Do you still do 3D
like-
animation?
I can, but it's unlike I'm so bad at it. It's just I can only do very basic things, and it's
Okay.
I've used it in such a long time. So after that, like when I had that channel, that was my channel name was Insane in the Rain CE. CE is for my initials, and so on that channel I posted a couple of game covers here and there, like on piano, with no fancy editing or anything. And then people didn't watch those, and they only watched my Minecraft stuff. So I said, oh, I'll just make a new channel for just music, and then they went from there.
So
Is
like
this
your
channel
mother
still
didn't
up
push you?
Oh, it sure is.
It exists, but I don't think the Minecraft videos are up there. I think I deleted them.
I
I
gotta find
have
this.
Blender Minecraft tutorial, modeling
Oh,
armor for your ...
Are they up there?
Yeah, Pew Pew 3
Oh,
update video.
Yes.
Oh my
outdoor
god.
lighting test.
Oh my
I
god.
like the little thumbnail for Blender tutorial 10 fluid simulation.
Oh,
Looks like a donger.
you use
I love
Blender?
I love the logo you have for InsaneInTheRainMusic on here that has the Song of Storms.
Oh yeah. Like a fan made that for me a long time ago, and I didn't think it really fit with the kind of thing I had going on, but it's pretty good.
It's pretty. I like it.
I mean, I like my current style anyway, but
No, it's very minimalist.
this channel brings back so many bad memories.
I'm glad.
Okay, I haven't told you the story of why my channel is not named Insane in the Rain, because it should be. Okay, so back in like 6th grade, I made my first YouTube channel just so I could like comment and like stuff, right? And so one day when I wanted to actually start uploading videos, I was going to create a new channel, and at this point I had forgotten that I had a channel named Insane in the Rain. So I tried to make one named Insane in the Rain, right? And it said
Oh.
this username has already been assigned, and I'm like, wait, no, nobody's that creative to come up with my same name. And so I didn't realize that that was actually my channel that I couldn't get into. So I made Insane in the... Wait, so I remember like at the time of making my CE channel, like my most recent, this was before like the one channel thing, my most recent liked video was like a Pokemon competitive battle video about a Metapod or something. And so I made my CE channel, right? And then before I was making like the Insane in the Rain music channel, I looked back at the Insane in the Rain channel, and it still had the same most recent liked video, and I was like, that's odd. And so I just went and signed in. I typed Insane in the Rain, and I guessed my old password, and I got into my old channel.
Now, couldn't you like delete
So-
that and change your channel's name to Insane in the Rain?
Changing channel names is really stupid. It's really hard to do, I think, because of like Google Plus integration.
Now they
and
want you to
custom
have
channel
like
IDs.
2 different names.
It's so bad.
It's terrible.
Yeah, Google's really screwing the pooch with
I mean, they're not like they're not that bad. It's not like making it unusable or
I
anything.
mean, yeah, yeah, it functions, but it's not like better.
yeah, it's not too much worse.
Too much
that's the
worse.
story of me, the Genesis book of Insane in the Rain music.
God, that's hilarious.
The Genesis.
book.
The book of Genesis. Just
We're back to
adapt the book of Genesis into a jazz album.
Oh my god.
Book of
I'll
Jazz.
take. It's probably been done actually. Like every chapter like has been made into a jazz piece.
It's
That's
just
a good idea.
It's a jazz odyssey, just taking you through like the events of the Book of Genesis.
I was thinking like the jazz odyssey of like Homer.
God damn it.
Oh,
not Simpson.
Yeah,
Sorry.
the blind guy that came up with
Yeah.
a lot of stories. How do they know he was blind?
He couldn't see.
His name was Homer.
Dun, dun, dun. He just went his whole life.
All right, I'm gonna bring up some of the questions in the chat just to make sure we get them. Will wants to know if you're happy that Mario's new songs seem to be all jazz.
I think that's a very, very good direction that Nintendo's going, and I really like it. Although the one problem is I don't own a Wii U, and I don't own consoles on which those games, the new jazz soundtracks, are being played on.
Why don't you have a Wii U?
Partially because I'm not much of like a console gamer, and I'm not, honestly not that much of a gamer anymore.
PC Master.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate it, but I just don't find myself having a lot of time to do that kind of thing.
No, I get that.
I mean, I appreciate them, and I'm interested in them, but I don't really like playing them that much right now.
So I understand why I haven't played Xenoblade then, but you seriously get the soundtrack. You will be
Yeah,
so.
I should. That and Kid Icarus Uprising. That's got a really good soundtrack too.
Oh my gosh, Kid
I'm
Icarus
telling you, like
Uprising.
there was so much room for some great jazz, like out of the Xenoblade soundtrack. It's really phenomenal.
They're a really weird mix too, like taking like the super long modern Xenoblade and making it all jazz.
Well, it's interesting because there's a lot of variety, like in the whole soundtrack. Like, because I mean, you know they had.
They had like 6 composers.
Well, I mean,
Like it's Final Fantasy's got.
I mean, you know that they had 6 different composers work on it, yeah.
Yeah.
And each of them has like their own style. Like they had one composer like work on like the field and town themes. One group of like 3 guys did like all the battle music, and they did a great job. They had Yoko Shimomura do like one song or something.
That's all you need.
But you can obviously tell it's her when you hear it, though.
Yeah, it's so her. It's ridiculous. It's a phenomenal soundtrack though. But yeah, like on the topic of like Mario and jazz, one thing I really like is Nintendo's kind of found like a musical style to fit each of their franchises more, and like instruments like you know, Mario is like all brass. It's very jazzy.
Yeah, jazzy. I love that word.
Star Fox is like a lot of strings and percussion, which I love. I mean, Donkey Kong is all percussion because Donkey Kong.
Maybe that's why I don't like Donkey Kong. It's just nothing.
Metroid is computer.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's just no, like I love that. Like it's so cool too. Just how like you can feel like the personality of each series through just their music alone.
Yeah, that's definitely true, and it's just the way that they create atmosphere, have certain like a defined sound for each different like franchise, I guess.
Yeah, and like that's like another thing too is like that's one of the things I really liked about Halo. Even though I generally don't like the series, like I've loved the music in the first couple of games, just because it's a really unique, interesting blend. That'd be an interesting jazz cup.
I'll sing in it.
Do the Halo theme.
Just on kazoo. Just
on a kazoo. Yeah, that's what I was going for.
Like that one. What's his like kazoo it? Yeah.
Let's see.
You know him?
We've got another.
I think he's like.
Kazoo. What was his name? Starts with an S.
It's Suko. Like
yes, Suko. Yeah, Suko. Dude, I've been listening to that guy. He's insane.
In the rain.
In the rain.
He's all right. Look, his Xenoblade.
I just like how offended he got.
No. Look. All right. He did that Xenoblade song. That was fantastic. I think that's was like his best one. Was
yeah, I think he's got the novelty thing going for him. That's what. Yeah.
I think one of the things that he's going to fall into the trap though is it's going to be interesting to see if he manages to keep it fresh when he's just doing the songs note for note. You know.
See, yeah, that's the thing. You obviously know Smooth McGroove, right?
Yes, that's one thing I've been concerned with Smooth too.
I don't. I actually have never. I actually don't like his music at all. I think it's unimaginative, and the only reason why he's so popular is because they're note for note copies, and it's like really, it just appeals to the more like. It appeals to gamers as opposed to musicians, right?
I think that some of the songs like genuinely sound better, but there are other songs where I'm like, that's okay. I generally find that every couple weeks he has something that I like. But yeah, it is like it's not as imaginative.
It's like Lindsay Sterling.
Like my God, don't get me started on her.
A lot of musicians hate Lindsay Sterling.
She's okay.
I can't stand her. There's a lot of musicians that, I mean, it's just I think that's like a YouTube trap or just a YouTube decision you have to make, is whether you're going to be a musician or you're going to be an entertainer.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean, like there are people, like there are some people that have like successfully made it with both. Like if you know Kyle Landry, he's pretty good. He's like a really incredible piano player, but at the same time he's able to just entertain people because his arrangements are like close enough to the original, but it still shows off like his virtuoso stuff that people like it.
Yeah, when you don't take any risks, it's like
yeah. Especially with people like Kazoo Man or Smooth McGroove or some other people that just do note for note stuff. I mean, like that really, it's really easy for them to like appeal to like a bigger crowd because people are just like searching for, oh, I want the Mega Man 2 intro theme, and then they hear it exactly like what they thought it was going to be, just with a couple of different instruments. And you're like, oh my God, you're a genius! You have a beard, you have a cat.
Well, and you know exactly what you're getting too. I mean, when he says, when he says like he's going to do cornered, like it's note for note cornered. And so it's like you go in there and you're like, yeah, it's a cappella. And so you can't go like, yeah, you know what? It wasn't a cappella enough for me. Like that's not going to happen. But like when you do like your own arrangement, you run that risk of like, I don't know, I like it better the way it sounded originally. You know?
Yeah, that's what I did. I had a recent what's it called? Like my Starman or my Wingcat cover.
I love that cover, dude.
A lot of people didn't like it just because of how modern it was and how different it was from the original, and that I wasn't like. It was, you could kind of almost barely tell that it was
that's what I loved about it. Was like I listened to it and I went back and I looked up the 64 soundtrack and I was like, and I played it and I'm like, oh yeah, I guess this is like the Wing Cap, and it was, and I love that because like if I want to listen to the Wing Cap theme, I can listen to the Wing Cap theme.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, and now there's like this other thing that has this entirely different feel to it. And if I want to listen to that, I can listen to that. It's like I don't know. It's why I like sequels in games that really change up the formula.
Yeah.
Because this game already exists. I don't need another game like it.
Exactly.
That's why we hate Gears of War Judgment.
Because you can't beat the Pokemon formula. It's just so good.
Oh well.
Agree to disagree.
We're of two minds about that. Okay, I don't have a problem with Pokemon's formula. I have a problem with how heavily they've decided to just abandon the single player campaign in terms of just making games all about the competitive. But like that's
with Pokemon, you mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with that 100%. But I don't think it's entirely based in competitive. But I'm glad that they're taking more of a shift towards it. I think, but they're still hanging on enough to the single player stuff that I think it's okay. But
see, the thing for me is like I always played Pokemon. Like the thing that first got me into Pokemon when I was a kid with the first two generations was the fact that it just I could feel like I was in this world that was like you exist with these Pokemon and everything, and your goals were simple, but they were believable and kind of like attainable, and it was like I want to be the best guy, and you end up like being the only one that's able to stop this to step in and like stop this organization. And it's just like this cool, like really simple thing, and then the second generation built on that. And then like just playing like now, like I play through the games now, and it kind of feels like the single player campaign is just like a chore that like you have to get through so that you can do the post game and competitive stuff.
Yeah, sometimes I guess that. Oh well, depends on what kind of player you are. I think part of that just comes with the fact that that most people have experienced the formula many times, and which I think they do enough to like slightly vary it, but I don't really see a big problem with it.
And that's the thing is like, it's not that it's badly made; it's that it's a different kind of game than what I want to play. I don't want to go through like I was playing Pokemon Y, and like I don't like all the way through. It's like everybody's just constantly giving you TMs, and the TMs can be used as much as possible. And like you level so much, and it's like there is no way I'm gonna ever get stuck in this game. Like there's no way I'm ever gonna have to like like there's no way I'm ever gonna have a close battle because the whole thing just feels like they're just buffing me up so that I can do competitive play later on.
Which opens like a bunch of different avenues for the way you can want to play the game.
Yeah, but it's not the way that I want to play. You know, like I want to do the single player, and it just feels like the single player is an afterthought now. So it's just been hard for me to be into the Pokemon games lately.
They should do more like what they did with Black and White. I liked Black and White.
I couldn't stand Black and White.
What?
I think those are the worst ones.
What? Black and White 2, maybe.
Okay, no. Black and White. I thought Black and White 2 was a lot better than Black and White 1.
I thought it was a huge improvement too.
I haven't played Black 2.
I don't know what's wrong with you people.
I haven't bought a Pokemon game since like the Gen 2 remakes, which I actually really like the remakes of Gen 1 and 2.
Those are pretty good, yeah.
But
that's like, because Gen 2 is perfect in every way.
Gen 2 is my favorite. But
Gen 3.
No.
Like,
boo.
Thank you.
But but I haven't actually bought one in a long time. But what happens is every Christmas, like my family always gets me like the recent Pokemon game, and I'm just like, ugh. And so like I was playing Black, and then like I was so close to beating it, and then that Christmas they gave me White 2, and I was like, no, I was so close to being done with Pokemon. And then before I even start playing White 2, they got me Pokemon Y, and I was just like, all right, screw it. Like, I'll never be done with it.
They haven't announced a new Pokemon this year yet. Have
but anyways,
I'm waiting for something to happen with that.
So back to the.
I mean, they announced Pokemon Rumble, right?
So back to the.
So back to the.
So back.
Deli wants to know if there are any artists or composers you recommend other than like the few that we've mentioned so far.
I have many like jazz ones that I would recommend. I guess. I'll limit myself to the top 3. Okay, so my first one is it's a fusion jazz group or something. I guess you could call it fusion. It's called Snarky Puppy.
What?
Snarky Puppy.
Dude, jazz and ska bands have like the best.
If you listen to Snarky Puppy, it's like the perfect combination of jazz, rock, electronic music. Some slight elements of metal and some slight elements of world music. It's mind-blowing when you first listen to it. So that's my number 1. I can't say enough about them.
Snarky Puppy.
Yeah, it's a really good name. Let me think. Number 2, I have to go with Brian Blade and the Fellowship Band, which is Brian Blade. That's like the perfect name. Like Blade.
Yeah,
it's that one's a very almost traditional kind of thing, but it's very like spiritual in the way that they play, and it's really if you it's like my Lilium cover was based off of the Fellowship Band.
Huh.
And it's hard to describe them. You have to listen to them. Same with Snarky Puppy. They're like the best musicians. They're very difficult to describe, I think. Those are my 2 top ones, and I have to look at my list or my current Spotify thing to pick out another. To the Spotify I go.
They've won a Grammy the last 2 years.
The Fellowship Band, I think the Fellowship Band has.
Huh.
And what's another one?
My third is Lady Gaga.
Why? Why would anyone pick Lady Gaga?
No. Okay. My third one is the San Francisco Jazz Collective. These are somewhat obscure jazz groups, just because again, no one listens to jazz. No one listens to jazz, but
they're obscure because they're a jazz group.
No, but their arrangements. If you like my arrangements, they're like their arrangements are like exactly like mine. And I try to emulate their kind of arrangements.
They do exclusively video game songs, mostly Pokemon.
It's like what I do. Okay, it's like what I do with video games, what they do with like real jazz songs.
Did this just become hipster chat room or something?
Was it already?
God damn it!
The moment I joined, it became hipster.
Let's see.
Oh my
Next
gosh.
question: Are you a hipster?
No.
It says music editing software tips, please.
It depends. If they're talking about sheet music, it doesn't really matter what you get as long as you don't spend an outrageous amount of money on it. It can do anything. Can do anything really. Same thing with digital audio workstations. Like you've probably heard of like Pro Tools or like maybe Cubase or Ableton or
Right.
something like that. Yeah, everybody's heard of that. It doesn't really matter what you get, I think, because they all do the same thing. It's just some are better at doing it than others. But again, just don't. If you're like an amateur, you don't need to spend that much money on one. What you like? I use Reaper. It's technically free, but and it doesn't really make that much of. It wouldn't really make that much of a difference if I used Pro Tools or anything.
Okay, fair enough. Let's see.
It's like underwear. Spending a lot of money on underwear doesn't get you as much.
How do you feel about the new Animal Crossing music in Mario Kart 8 DLC? Have you
I
heard it?
have a little bit. I've watched the Nintendo the Nintendo videos that they put up on the Nintendo YouTube channel of like the studio sessions that
Yeah, yeah. How do you
I
feel about
listened to
that?
those. I think it's I think they could have done a little bit better and just like maybe had a couple like either a couple different songs or just had a more solid arrangement because it feels a little just like the way that they did it felt a little like I don't know how to describe it, just not as Animal Crossing as I would have liked.
It felt like
Okay.
Moo Moo Meadows to me.
You know there are four
Little-
arrangements, right, based on the seasons.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay.
Shut
Yeah, shut up,
down.
Ryan. Come on.
Jesus Christ.
What the fuck are you talking about, Brian?
Actually,
This is hipster chat. You don't know if there's an unlockable fifth track.
there's a fifth,
Whoa! There's a fifth season?
there's a fifth season called Sprinter. Or
That sounds too close to femur and sphincter for me.
Actually,
Pumptering.
Brian had something he wanted to say to you about Weebop
Okay, no, this was
and about your.
this is a terrible joke I had. Like, either I missed it or it just wasn't there, but I did not see Cowboy Bebop, and I wanted to know why you chose this way to break my heart.
You chose this way.
What? That's, okay, you prefaced that as it was supposed to be a joke, and I was anticipating laughter.
That's why I said it was a bad joke.
I mean, that's the thing is nobody laughs at Brian's jokes.
It's not even a. That's not a joke. That's just a stupid statement.
God, I love this guy. I love this guy.
I made it very clear this was a bad joke.
It wasn't okay, but calling it a bad joke is like. It's not even a joke. It was just
You're
bunch
probably
of-
never going to
a
be
bunch
on
of
this.
words,
friggin-
a bunch of bad words that made no sense when you tried to string them together in a sentence.
These last 5 minutes just been Brian just getting ripped apart by Carlos, and I'm so happy.
Hey, I don't give a
I've
shit.
been waiting a long time for this day.
I've been
no,
waiting
seriously
for
though,
this.
well,
but seriously
to,
though, like,
to answer your question, I never said there wouldn't be Cowboy Bebop.
oh really? I see. I always figured like you wouldn't have like Cowboy Bebop or Bacano or something like that because like it's already jazz.
I never said that.
Huh.
That doesn't mean it's going to be on the album, but
All right. Interesting. Because I mean I am a huge fan of both the Cowboy Bebop and Bacano soundtracks, just largely because of the jazz. But like, that's interesting. If I'm really curious. So would you be with Weebop? For those of you who don't know, Weebop is going to be a combination video game and anime jazz album that he's doing with a couple of his friends. Are you going to be mixing together video game and anime songs, or be covering songs from both?
I'm not mixing them together, like putting them in the same song. I'm just doing some separate tracks from VGM and some from anime. Mainly because like the main person I'm working with is Sab Irene, who's like one of my vocalist friends, and she wanted to do anime, I wanted to do VGM. We compromised, and it became Weebop. That was it.
All right. Excellent. Weebop is one of the best names I've heard in a long time too. So
It took me so long to figure out how to name it. Like we were like brainstorming things for like 3 hours, just like throwing names up, and like Jazame came up. It was so bad.
Jazame.
And then
Sounds like
I
the
think
other
we were.
Dude, you should have been there for the weeks that we were trying to figure out what we were gonna call our site. Like, yeah, we eventually settled on Hammerspace, but like there were so many just terrible things. What we were gonna
The main one we were gonna go with was a pun off Four Swords Adventures and call
gonna
it
be
Four Dorks Adventures.
they were gonna be the Four Dorks Adventures, and it was just,
We got rid of the fourth guy, needless to say, because he didn't want to be part of it.
we didn't get rid of the fourth guy.
Wait, so why is it called Hammerspace then?
Because
It's called-
it's everything in one place, and by everything we just mean Smash Brothers.
I mean, it was Hammerspace because, like, I mean, Zelda's like our big thing. Like that's like the thing that like brought us all together, and like is kind of like
hammers
our
in every Zelda game.
Well, Hammerspace is like a gaming term that has special relevance and generally has its name from Zelda. Like Hammerspace is basically the concept in games of having these characters who have like all this crap that they carry around with them. It's like where do they put it? And it's like, you know, when Link puts away an item, he like puts it in his back and it just disappears. And they say, oh, it goes into Hammerspace. And so like the name is like largely like because of the Megaton hammer. And but it's like it's like a common gaming term. So it's like, yeah, we're Zelda inspired, but we cover just like all games.
So you see, why couldn't my channel have like a significance to its name besides? I don't know where I came it, but I don't know where I came it up from, but it rhymes.
Yeah, no, it rhymes, and that's the problem is ours doesn't rhyme.
Just tell people that you came up with your name one day because you were mentally insane in the rain. Like, just it can be anything.
No.
No.
Okay. Okay.
Everyone's opinions are getting shit on right now.
And I'm being so mean today.
No,
okay.
It's great.
it's fine.
Fantastic.
Just be mean to Chris.
Chris enjoys our suffering for some reason. We don't know why.
Because
I
every
enjoy
stream
it.
that we do, it's everybody in the chat letting me know how terrible I am. So like, this is fantastic.
It's true. His roommates are much more fun than him.
Yeah, that's true. Wow. Is there any? So I mean, I guess like, wow. So you're doing Weebop and these covers now, like that you do like you try to do like one a week, yeah, something like that.
Well, no, it's been kind of erratic. I'm usually doing like once every 2 weeks, but because of Weebop and my school schedule, I'm probably just gonna be doing Weebop until it comes out, which is pretty soon anyway. And I'll have like maybe a couple more preview videos up, and then just to build the hype, and then I'll release the tracks on YouTube, and then things will happen, and then summer will be good.
Summer will be good. Summer you'll be doing your charity thing again, yeah? Are you gonna?
Nah.
Again?
Nah. The whole thing about the summer covers is that I look back on all those covers, and pretty much all of them are like really bad.
No, well,
Pretty much all of them.
They're not your best work, but I like them.
Yeah. I mean,
Which
they're
one's the one you hate
decent,
the
but-
most?
Okay. Have you seen my cover of Throwback Galaxy?
I don't think so.
You don't want to watch it.
I don't.
All right, let's bring that up. I'll link it in the chat.
Okay.
Let's bring that one up, please.
Before you watch it, no. Okay, it was still me before I knew
Whistle
what a laser
cover?
was. It's a whistle cover, and I'm so out of tune in my whistling. It's
Wait, what's it
disgusting.
Throwback Galaxy. I just put it in the chat.
Please, I'm not clicking on that link. I don't want to watch it.
Fair
Terrible
enough.
memories.
So-
If it was me, I would have deleted it by now.
This is almost 2 years ago. This is the summer covers that I actually this is where I found you.
Ugh, so bad.
Oh, someone! I forgot. We had another dumb question on here. What was it? Have you ever wanted to cover a jazz song and make it jazzier? Rory, wasn't that your question?
That was definitely not my question. I
Make it-
asked some pretty dumb stuff, but that is
I think that
definitely
was-
not something.
That was probably Tony then.
That was probably Tony.
Let's just blame it on Tony.
Do I have to answer that question? Because it just
Don't
seems so
you don't have to
stupid.
answer anything.
You don't have
honestly.
you don't have to
You can
answer
just-
that
you
at
can just-
all.
You can just leave if you want to. Uh, God, this game is so pretty. Um, what was
I gotta.
are, hmm?
Oh, no, go ahead.
Are there any like projects that like you've wanted to do, but you feel like you aren't there yet, or you haven't had the time to do?
Ooh, not really. I mean, well, I don't know. Like I've had a couple of ideas that I think will. It's hard to say because I have like these ideas, but I eventually like lose them after a while if I don't do them. Like I had an idea for like a Christmas album, but I didn't I didn't get around to doing that. I had an idea for a KK Slider album, right? But then you might not know, but like VGM artists got shafted by Nintendo copyright.
Oh,
Yeah. So
oh,
the way that policy works is now you can only like I can still cover like any YouTube song I want because it's technically my video and there's it's not you don't like obtain a license for the song, but to like legally sell a song as part of an album, for Nintendo song, there needs to be it needs to be released on an OST in the US,
oh,
which there is not one for Animal Crossing, and
huh.
it makes it difficult to like get them covered. Um, there are some games that quite a few games from the Pokemon series have their soundtracks up, so that's pretty good. I was thinking of doing a Diamond Pearl Platinum album this summer, but I'm not. Considering I'm doing Weave Up right now, I don't really want to do that. I'd rather just do YouTube stuff.
Interesting, because there's an Animal Crossing album I bought. I think it was Ben Briggs. It was like
Yeah, but that was done.
years ago.
I have that album too. It was done before. Like this copyright thing is pretty recent. It was like February of this year.
Interesting.
It's not a good thing.
Huh. I know like one thing. I know there's it's interesting because like with the KK Slider songs,
Mhm.
my roommate Miles and I, he plays guitar and I'm learning guitar and I play harmonica and ocarina and a couple other small unimpressive things,
Mm.
and we're both vocalists. And so one of the things that like we wanted to do is we had this we had this goal of at one point going through all like the KK Slider songs and giving them like actual lyrics and making and just like actually making like songs out of them.
Mhm.
But that's so much work, and we're so lazy.
Yeah, coming up with lyrics is not easy, especially making them relevant to the game or whatever you're doing.
Oh, that could be whatever we want though. Just give KK like this whole like background.
Mhm.
Thug life.
You don't know what he does when he's not playing those when he's not playing those gigs.
He's probably somebody's pet.
Yeah. Oh my God. He just lives with like these guys. Every time they let him outside, he just goes to the museum and just plays.
See you
He
later.
just he just
The
visits your
air
town.
bud of music.
The
Oh God, that's great. He's playing the guitar with his mouth. All right, the Airbud movies were ridiculous. Most
I remember when they introduced the puppies. Like Jesus Christ.
Like
Oh my
space
God.
puppies.
That's when that went downhill quick. When they brought in the puppies, oh my God, it got so bad so fast.
I know, right?
If bad is good.
Bad is good.
There's more puppies than in the first Airbud. How is that bad? I just remember watching the football one, and they're just like, "Oh no, he's just catching the football by its laces every time." I'm like, "Are you serious?"
This must be the work of an enemy stand.
And they just have the football like dangling from his mouth, and it's so oh my God. I just him like hitting like the basketball with his snout like over and over again, and like okay, that's not like breaking his nose,
Who had the idea for Air Bud?
dude. In the '90s,
Airbud
every
Plus.
animal played every game. It was ridiculous. You ever watch MVP, Most Valuable Primate?
Oh
What?
God, no.
What?
It's a fucking chimpanzee playing hockey.
Oh God, I do know this.
Wait, is that a movie or a TV show?
It's a movie
That
called
sounds awful.
MVP, Most Valuable Primate. It was hilarious.
That sounds terrible.
It sounds like a bad Ace Ventura spin-off or something.
There is a bad Ace Ventura spinoff called Ace Ventura Jr.
Oh, I forgot.
It was on Cartoon Network, and it's this like fat little kid dressed up like in the same clothes as Jim Carrey, like trying to be funny for all he's worth, and it's just not good. It's so bad.
I
Oh,
tried
I-
watching it. It is terrible. Oh my gosh.
I
He
don't know
even
why they decided it had to be made.
Didn't they also give him the same hairstyle as Ace Ventura?
No, he has like somewhat curly blonde hair.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he's just like he doesn't even like look anything like Jim Carrey. They just put him in the same like Hawaiian shirt, and they're like, "All right, you're good to go."
How did Cartoon Network get the rights to make this movie?
I don't know.
How did Cartoon Network get so bad?
How
did
did
anybody
Cartoon
decide to
Network
do that?
start airing live action stuff?
Have you ever thought about
Yeah.
doing like covers of any like cartoon theme songs or anything?
Not really.
DuckTales.
Okay. I did think about doing a cover of Schoolhouse Rock. You know Schoolhouse Rock.
Which song?
The Conjunction Junction song.
Yes. Conjunction.
Conjunction Junction, what's your function?
Hear the words of making them crazy.
God, Chris,
still
he's
might-
even
I
a
still-
better singer than you.
Jesus Christ, Brian. Oh my
Taking
God,
hits.
Schoolhouse Rock, great.
Hey, I
Dude.
have a question.
Yes.
Yes, Mom.
What do you think of Professor Layton and its potentials for a cover?
Have not played it. Don't know any of the music. Probably should play it.
I enjoyed the first one. I haven't played any of the other ones. I
Yeah,
don't
the
remember-
first
that
one
hurts.
was the first one was good. I tried what is it? The Unwound Future.
The Unwound Future's the best one.
I didn't like Unwound Future.
Oh, you need to go
So-
die.
There are so many good games with soundtracks that I need to play. I just can't like sit down and play a game. I feel like I have to be doing something productive at every point of the day, I just can't tell myself that playing a game is productive.
Dude, no, I understand. That's why like I started like streaming whenever I play games. I'm like, see, I'm building a viewership. I'm doing something productive. But then nobody watches, so I'm not actually accomplishing anything.
But you wait for that day that new subscriber will come in, and he'll
Hmm.
bring like 50 billion people with him.
Yeah. I wait for that
Oh,
one
and I
day
need
where
to play
somebody watches.
Phoenix Wright too.
Phoenix Wright.
Phoenix Wright. Phoenix Wright has a
Oh.
lot of great music. There actually is a jazz album of Phoenix Wright music
Yeah,
called
there's
Turnabout Jazz, and it's so good.
It's so good, and the cover art is like all the characters performing the music. It's
It's
amazing.
not your it's not your style of jazz though. Like it'd actually be really interesting to hear you do a take on it.
You should try, if anything, at least give the fragrance of black coffee a listen. That one's
That's
pretty great.
that's already jazz. It'd be interesting to turn that into hot jazz.
Hot jazz?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How
To-
do you define hot jazz?
Well, I mean, like
when
to,
you
to,
can
to,
hear
pep
your-
it up to pep it up and make it like faster, basically, like as opposed to like slower, like smoother. Just generally, that's there's like hot and cool jazz. Cool jazz is like the slower, like loungy or calm shit.
If you say so.
That's just like that's how I think of it. No, that's how I think of it. All right, look, and I don't think I'm the only. I don't think I'm the
If
only one
you
who calls
say
it that either.
so.
I don't think I'm the only one who calls it. I'm just saying, like the fragrance of dark coffee. It's like. It's like very slow.
Why
and
aren't
very-
you singing on my album? Gosh.
You want me to?
No.
Oh,
Oh.
I'm so confused. I don't understand why that was necessary. I'm just trying to tell you. All right, look. But I'm just saying, like when when Turnabout Jazz Soul did it, when Turnabout Jazz Soul did it, they did it basically note for note the same way, and it'd be really interesting to see it sped up and like made it into like a peppy song if possible.
Mm.
But I don't know. An hour of being roasted by InsaneInTheRainMusic. Insane. Insane.
We're all getting shit on today.
I know we
Insane
can't
in the roast.
and,
Yeah.
and we can't fire back because he's the guest. So
Well,
when are you, so when, so when are you gonna?
you can fire back. It's in your best interest not to.
Yeah. So
You
when
just
are-
hear
so when are-
knuckles cracking over.
So when are you gonna stop like making music and just like start a career like do like just like tearing apart celebrities? just being like doing like the Soup or something.
Is that implying that you're a celebrity and that I'm doing that right now?
No, I'm just saying it's an easy target.
Ugh.
Celebrities are easy targets.
Chris
What?
wants to believe.
I don't want to be a celebrity. Like I really don't.
I want to be an actor, but I don't want to be a celebrity.
No, I do. That's like the catch-22. I would like to like work on like a lot of things that matter without people knowing who I am. Like,
So you want to be the opposite of Phil Fish.
yeah,
Phil Fish.
yeah. Phil Fish, guy that made Fez. He made one mediocre
Oh.
game. Yeah.
And he was a total asshat. Caused him to get a new identity and move to Canada.
Did he really?
Yes.
Yeah, he moved.
Supposedly
No.
he's a
He moved to,
DJ.
like,
Enjoy,
he moved
Rory.
he moved even north of Canada. He moved to like the northern part of Canada.
Isn't that just Alaska? Oh, not Alaska. The
Get out! Get out!
the North
No!
Pole,
Get out!
the Arctic,
Yeah, the Arctic.
and then not Alaska. But...
Good old Alaska and the Arctic.
Just like he did move to the North Pole, he is Santa Claus now.
He's got the beard for it. He just needs to
Mommy,
get older.
mommy, Santa brought us presents. What does
Santa
it say?
Smash Brothers.
It's
All the-
calling me a
all the-
man-child.
All that's in my stocking is a toy that kind of works. It's kind of fun, I guess.
The people on the box rated it a 10 out of 10, though.
It's kind of fun, but it has a tag telling me that it's supposed to change my life. Because it changes dimensions. How is Fez supposed to be deep again? Like, what was supposed to be the meaning behind Fez?
don't-
There was no.
Remember? Oh, they did announce the sequel to Fez. Remember they announced Fez
Yeah,
2,
and then
but
he canceled it.
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
people were giving
shit
him
was-
crap on.
shit was so bad he had to cancel it immediately.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a little girl.
I mean, when a game developer is saying modern gamers are man-children and what's wrong with the industry, you kind of want to hate the guy.
Well, I mean, especially when he then throws a fit and closes his Twitter account and like hides. He's calling people man children. All right, so what do you think of Phil Fish? Do you want to do a jazz cover of Phil Fish, Carlos?
I don't know Phil Fish.
Do you want to do
That's
a jazz
okay.
cover of Phil Fish?
we got like hardcore sidetracked. All right.
Not even Fez, just Phil Fish himself.
What's your opinion on Gamergate?
Gamergate?
Let's go there.
Let's
Gamergate?
not. We probably
No,
shouldn't go
let's
there.
not. Let's not. All right. So,
No.
other questions?
We're in too deep. We have to.
No, we don't. All right. So, Jesus. So, like, what are your what are your goals then for the channel? Like, do you want to eventually, do you want to find work in like creating, music or composing music for games, or what do you want to do?
Something to do with music. I'm not 100% sure at the moment. I want to keep YouTube going. I don't know if it'll ever be like a job thing. I kind of doubt it, but I just want to keep it going. You know, because YouTube has like it's like the one thing that's improved my musicianship as much as it has, just because it forces me to like listen to myself and record, and forces me to develop a sound that I can be not super embarrassed to show my friends.
Okay, I get that.
I don't think I've heard any original pieces on your channel. Do you have any?
No, I don't think so. Actually, I don't really compose the originals that much.
There was a time like a year ago where I was like, "How has nobody hired you to compose for a game?" And you were like, "I don't like to make my own music." And I was
I
like,
guess that's changed somewhat. I mean, I'm more right at it, but I feel like I still have the kind of feeling that like anything I make is gonna be bad.
I don't know, because your arrangements are basically like what you do with the arrangements isn't that far off from creating something completely original.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
Like in my mind. So I'm actually really curious to see what you would do if you created something completely original.
I am too.
I mean, I think you get a lot of support from your subscribers too.
Just Patreon that shit.
Oh, don't get me started on Patreon. It's like a virtual tip jar, guys. It's like Kickstarter, but instead of one big project, it's like a bunch of small ones. Wow.
Have you seen Sakimi's Patreon?
Who's
No.
Sakimi?
She's a digital artist. She gets 50,000 a month.
Yeah, it's
Jesus.
ridiculous.
50,000 a month? And what does she do?
She just paints portraits. She paints like 8 portraits a month, and she gets $50,000.
Yeah, and Brian doesn't get on that bandwagon by
Okay, one,
getting good.
I'm pretty sure that if I concentrated for 4 months, I could get that good. But the thing is, Sakimi does the same damn shit. It's just portraits, and like almost all her characters' faces look alike.
Maybe you should get good.
I heard that she's making $50,000 a month. Does it really matter
Are
if
we
it's the same thing
going
over
to
and over
make
again?
a product, or are we going to make art? We're going to
Pump out
make
that
art a
machine.
product.
Patreon is just like I think it's got some like good things about it, but I'm just so tired of seeing people explain it like it's a virtual tip jar or something like that. I mean,
What-
it is, but I'm just tired of it.
Something.
Well, I mean, the fact is, it's the patron system, and that's basically how it goes. And that's why, like, I don't like. I think that there are times where it's a really good idea to use it, and I think that there are times where it's not. I think that there, like, for example, when there are people who already make money off of ads, for example, I get pretty washy with them using Patreon. When there are people who create something that, or who do something that doesn't make a lot of time, like I don't know, but also, I mean, like, the nice thing about Patreon is that it's a completely optional thing, and it's as long as it isn't pushed like all the time, like it's like it's really just for the people who want to support.
Yeah.
And as long as you don't go like, hey, if you guys, give me this much, I'll make this. Like that's when it annoys me, when they act like, hey, you've got to, like I'll if you want me to do this thing, I need more money. Like that's where I don't like it.
Like with Yandere Sim, or nah?
Well, I don't know about stuff like that because
I mean, he gets
don't-
money every month, just a little bit, to continue making his game.
that's bizarre.
It's a
You're creating
weird.
one product.
Yeah.
Is the game going to be sold?
I'm not sure.
If he sells the game, then I'm going to feel really weird about it.
I'm pretty sure the Patreons would get a copy
The
for free.
Patreons, yes.
The
I
patrons.
suppose.
The Patreons.
The Patreons. I own 5
Sorry,
of them. Do
I'm still
you?
being-
But yeah, I don't know, like the patron system. Like it really depends. Like it's a huge gray area, and it really depends on the context.
I guess what my thing is, like my the thing that irks me about it is that some people like set up all this stuff like really really early in their career or like their development, and they expect to get a lot from it.
I know,
And they
right?
expect, I can be so successful just like everybody else, and I know that several people who have tried that model, it doesn't work out for them, and I'd rather just not have like a failed startup attempt if I can help it.
Yeah.
Speaking of failed startup attempts, Chris, you remember Cameron, right?
You mean Codename Steam?
Codenames.
Cameron.
Okay, I own Codename Steam. It's actually a pretty decent game.
I'm not saying
You
it's a
and
bad game.
31,000
Just-
other people.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay,
Thanks.
but wait, Chris,
Thanks-
you remember who
thanks,
Cameron
Scamnesia.
Ward is, right?
Yes.
He has a Patreon, and he only has one patron, and it's like his grandma.
Wait, what does he even? What does he even do?
He has his own website called Cam's Eye View. And
But he's
it's,
terrible at reviews and.
I
game
know, and if you look at his website, it looks like it was made in 1995. It's got scrolling text. It looks like one of those those ads that are like congratulations, you've won, and it takes you like the most shady website. That's basically his website. And like no one cares, and it's pitiful. My
Just grand.
it's sad. Barry showed me, and have you ever just wanted to delete your memories?
all the time. Always.
Oh, I do have one question though. Crap, what was it? Oh, that's right. What is, or at least what you've seen so far, what is the hardest genre to adapt for your style?
Meaning, like, what's the hardest genre of music for him to turn into a jazz arrangement?
Yeah.
I think it's really dependent on like the individual piece, but If I had to generalize, it would probably be like rock, because rock is so like simple that it makes it hard. Like I've had a hard time with specifically Mega Man 2 kind of things because they're meant to be rock songs and like they're very simple in the way that they're written, and so it just I work better when things are a lot more complicated, like musically and like harmonically, and so it gives me more to work with. But with when you take a rock song, it's just like you get 3 chords and that's pretty much it. But then that's even greater of a challenge because you got to come up with all this new stuff.
Okay, I can see that. I think at the same time though, I think. Well, I don't know. I guess I can't really speak to it. I don't. It's not like I have any experience in what you do. Uh, but Mega Man has so much. I don't know. I'm just thinking about the people who have built things. So, like you have like groups like the Megas, but they also. I mean, they keep it in rock, so
Yeah, that's the thing.
makes it a lot easier.
Oh, this is gonna segue into something.
Oh
What?
boy.
What is?
Chris earlier wanted to know if you would do a
I'm not
jazz.
gonna. I'm not gonna ask him to do that on stream. I'm not gonna put him on the spot.
What am I doing?
No, I'm not. Brian, why did you?
Tell me.
Okay.
Okay, so the
So,
Megas have this
One of the things
Mega
we're gonna
Man
ask.
song.
Are you familiar with the Megas?
Brief me. I've heard the name.
The Megas are a group of nerds slash musicians who are heavily inspired from Mega Man music, and what they do is they take the actual songs and they use the songs to create rock songs. And one of the biggest things they do is they take the stage themes from all the bosses in the game and create songs from the boss's perspective out of them. And there's one song in particular that's called "The Quick and the Blue." That's Quickman's stage, and it's done as this as this western sort of thing. And my roommate Miles and I were singing it and everything, and we were just like, God, this would be like. And we were talking about how great it would be to adapt it into a jazz slash swing style song, kind of in the vein of Royal Crown Review, if you've ever listened to their stuff. And so we were talking. It was like, oh, dude, wouldn't it be like great to like ask Carlos to like do something like that? And I was like, maybe if I ever talk to him. And then weeks later, hi.
Hello.
But yeah, I didn't want to ask this on stream or like bring it up because it's awkward and puts you on the spot and stuff. So thanks, Brian.
You can't ask Senpai in front of a bunch of people. You can't ask him at all.
But yeah.
Oh my gosh.
How is there a gender debate in the comments right now?
Wait, there's a gender debate in the
I
comments?
just what? Apparently,
Like how?
I don't know.
This,
they're
is
talking
this
about,
related to Chris playing a transgender tomboy?
That was decades ago. Though.
I'm sorry, but that's
We
like
were talking about that forever ago.
that's like one of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
what?
A transgender tomboy.
Why is that one of the dumbest things you've ever heard?
Because it sounds exactly like what Tumblr would get rid of.
What? All right. Okay. So back to Carlos. Hi, Carlos.
Hello.
So you're saying.
I'm sorry.
Jesus Christ. All right. So you're saying that like you're saying you don't like have a lot of time for like games or stuff anymore. Do you consider yourself more of a musician? Like, do you consider yourself a musician first and then a gamer, or?
I'm just more of a musician overall, not really much of a gamer myself. But
Okay.
I mean, I guess I am somewhat. I like by the music I cover, I kind of have to be.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about covering something other than video game songs on YouTube, or are you worried that?
Yeah,
that-
I've thought about it. I just I don't really have any problem with it. It's just that it's usually what I do, and I don't know. I mean, I'm not opposed to it, but I just haven't really found anything that I really want to do.
Excellent.
I know Rory is upset at the complete lack of Spyro the Dragon music.
I don't really remember any Spyro music.
Neither do I. Therefore, it wasn't that good. Oh.
Oh God, Tina Belcher's here.
No. How could you?
I was watching a bunch
could
of
you?
Bob's Burgers yesterday.
Good.
Show
You
is
should
so
you
good.
should do a jazz cover of Bob's Burgers.
The
So,
Einstein piece. What is it? Electric Love.
no.
What?
Yes. Do it. No, just
This is
listen
like
to it. It's glorious.
Oh
How
man.
could you say that about Spyro?
Okay, maybe again that was I played that like the one Spyro game was like bundled with a Crash Bandicoot game, and I played it a long time ago as a kid, and it wasn't that good.
Yeah, Spyro was. I mean, Spyro had a lot of bad games. We also have some great ones.
What system was
The
that
first
one
three
on?
Spyro games are amazing.
The first
After
three
that, it's
are.
just meh.
Yeah, after that it went to shit pretty fast.
Hmm.
Come on, like listen to this.
The
Stuff.
composer for Spyro the Dragon, what else did he work on? I know he's a pretty prolific guy.
I don't know.
Let me check.
Who would you say your favorite composers are, Carlos?
Ooh, I don't know. I really don't have like a specific game one that I like that much.
Any particular
Apparently-
just soundtracks that are your favorite then, other than like Pokemon?
Pokemon Coliseum. I have to go with that one.
Yes.
The Myra
Dude,
B
that-
theme?
Coliseum is just like one of the best Pokemon
Wait,
games.
wait. Did you just say Myra B?
Myra B.
Just don't.
I'm
listen
afraid
to
I
Brian.
can't be in this conversation anymore. I'm sorry, but
Why?
it's a mirror, not Myra.
I
Yeah.
know it's Mirror, but I
Myra
called him
B.
Myra as a child, and I'm like, I can't
It's a cod
unsay
child.
it.
As a cod chop. Back when back
in my young
back
in
the
my
stream.
young fish days, I called him a Myra.
That's what we called him back in the stream.
Get it? Because stream is
Yeah.
It's.
stream.
I'm sorry. I
I'm
know
disappointed
it's
in all of
pronounced Mirror. I've looked at it and I'm like, that's Mirror, but I'm like, I'm fucking
Myra.
calling it Myra.
Coliseum really is like one of the best Pokemon games in so many ways, though.
Yeah. They need to make like a similar kind of thing.
I don't
Like,
understand why there's not a Coliseum style game for the Wii U. It's so perfect for it.
Hasn't there been? Please.
And there's no Pokemon Snap for the Wii U, and there's so many games that would be great on the Wii U.
Pokemon Snap for the Wii U would be amazing.
There's so many things they could do with the Wii U that they're not doing. Just
Like,
do it.
make good games.
Yeah, like games. Actually, they're getting a lot of good games now. They just
I can't
Yeah.
wait for Splatoon.
Splatoon's gonna be fantastic.
Yo, we're gonna go on and just wreck kids.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna-
our
I'm gonna
that's our
destroy
plan
children.
for day one. We're just gonna make our squids and just wreck children. The stream will be called Child Abuse 101.
No, it will not be.
There's so many tentacles involved. I don't know if I want to call it that. So
That's why. That's
So-
why we don't want to call it.
so other than Pokemon, like what other game soundtracks like inspire you the most?
You get brownie points if you mention Fire Emblem.
Not
Fire Emblem has like 2 really good songs, and then the rest are. Eh.
I don't know Fire Emblem.
I love Fire
You
Emblem.
get
but-
a lot of
Only
brownie
experience
points if
I've
you
had
say
with
that.
Fire Emblem
pairing
was
up is
renting a
best.
game from Blockbuster when it still existed, and I
Oh my
played it.
God.
Like, it was actually pretty good.
Was it Path of Radiance?
I have no idea. I
What
don't
system?
remember.
Was it GameCube?
No, it was GBA. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, so it's either Sacred
Cool.
Stones or. Okay, cool. All right, no.
So it
worries.
was either the best one or the worst one.
I like Sacred Stones.
It was the best
Yeah,
of
Sacred
times, and
Stones
it was
is the
worst
best.
of
Sacred
times.
Stones is the best one.
Yeah,
I
well,
didn't
but
like Sacred Stones that much.
the worst.
Get out.
The worst one is Binding Blade. The worst one is the one that Roy's from,
Yeah, a lot of
Or
people
Ga- or
hated
Ga-
that
or
one,
Gaiden.
don't they?
or Gaiden,
Mm.
or honestly, Shadow Dragon hasn't aged well. All right,
Shadow
so point
Dragon's
is,
awful.
Shadow
Well, to
Dragon was
answer-
never good.
To answer your question, I guess I don't really have. It's not really the. I don't know. I'm not really looking for like specific soundtracks that I think are good. I just look at individual songs within the soundtracks. I'm not judging by its collective. I'm judging by like the single unit.
fair enough. I guess it makes sense. You don't cover soundtracks; you cover songs.
Yeah.
So like, what
That's a
have you?
good
So like, what have you been binging on lately? You said you go through like waves.
Right now, what am I into? I'm into the SF Jazz Collective, San Francisco Jazz Collective, like I mentioned, because I just saw them live at the concert they did. What else? I've been into Snarky Puppy 2 right now. As for game soundtracks, the thing that tells the most is my YouTube like history. What am I into? Crypt of the Necrodancer is pretty good right now.
Crypt of the Necrodancer. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I mean that game's all about music.
Yeah.
That's pretty great.
You know
And
what?
Mega Man 2 I've been listening to.
Mega Man 2 soundtrack is fantastic.
Mega Man 2 was just a great game.
I saw that the Crash Band Blues was really interesting.
Yeah, I had a hard time coming up with an idea for that one just because it's Mega Man 2, but the music, it came out pretty good.
Yeah, it's. I would love to see what you can do with some of those other songs though, just because it is such a huge challenge. It is such like a huge. It is such like a huge change.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm really curious.
Mm.
Oh,
You know what? Oh, you know what game has a great soundtrack that you should totally listen to?
Pong.
do a jazz cover of Pong.
I was gonna say Quap, but no. Have you ever heard of this game called Nair?
No.
Okay.
It's like Brian's favorite game of all time.
It's one of my favorite games of all time. Like almost no one knows about it, but the soundtrack is god tier.
So is Mr. Gimmick for the NES. Or no, it's either Mr. Gimmick or Gimmick question mark for the NES. You've probably never heard of that one either. But that one's
Oh,
Have you ever heard of Zombies Ate My Neighbors? Probably.
isn't that basically Plants vs Zombies?
you should do a cover of Meow 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 from
No.
from last story.
No.
It's this great song that like they ended up not putting in the game. Like most people like never found it, but then like you get the soundtrack and it's just in the game and it's the weirdest shit. It doesn't sound anything like the rest of the soundtrack. I just put it in the Skype chat if you wanted to hear it.
Serenade us with it right now with your singing,
No,
Chris.
I can't.
Yes, you
Last
can.
story.
The
Oh.
last story. It's got a pretty good soundtrack actually.
Composed by Nobu Uematsu.
Yeah, man.
Oh, that means it's gotta be good.
It's like a lot of it's like really generic. There's a couple tracks that just like are phenomenal.
The weird thing is, Sakaguchi wants to put a sequel on the PS4, but like Nintendo has the right to the IP, so it's just
Dude,
really awkward for him.
A sequel to the last story could be so good if it's not on the freaking Wii.
Yeah,
Like,
this is
like
where
the Wii held it back so much.
yeah, Chris and I agree on this. It's like
Yeah.
half a game.
But there's like a lot of stuff that could be turned into a really good game if they improve it. Yeah. So
At this point, if there's any more questions, I kind of need to get back to work on some
yeah.
of the stuff.
Any last questions anybody's got?
I know Rory wanted to know the process of making it, but oh well, that's up to Rory.
The process of making a
Covers.
like how he goes about doing his covers.
Yeah.
Find the song, write an arrangement, record the song, make a video. That's it.
How
When
long
you're-
does it take you?
Depends on how much I want to do the song.
When you're doing the arrangements, like what's like the challenge? Like, do you just try to find as many different ways to do the same?
I think I've never really had I guess a challenge is finding like a theme for a song. Like once I have a general idea of like either a specific section or just a general like concept for the song, it's pretty easy. I just hear it in my head and then write it down.
It's true. There's such like a field of improvisation to a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it flows so naturally. That's what I love about it too. Is like the music has a journey. You don't just repeat yourself. That's what I love about the Dearly Beloved song. Is that it just like it goes through like a whole journey.
Mm.
It's great.
I would disagree, but
Really?
you do you.
Really? You don't think that song like has like
Okay, maybe it does that, but it doesn't do it as good as it should.
I mean, maybe you can do it better if you did it again. I don't know, but like, I mean, because you're constantly improving. But like, compared to like most other covers, compared to the original, especially, like, I don't know. I feel like there's a journey to it. I can tell where I am in the song by what it sounds like, as opposed to it being a 10-second loop.
Hmm.
I don't know.
What is my opinion of the Silver Surfer NES soundtrack?
God damn it.
What?
Well,
What?
I don't know.
I don't know if anybody's ever heard that.
Wave Race 64. Now that's some good stuff.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Wave
Wave
Race 64 is supposed to be like a really good game.
Dude, your DK64.
Oh, that's a good game.
But your rap.
Oh, don't remind me.
Have there been any songs that you've just like been working on and then like halfway through you're just like, I cannot put this out there?
Not for any like comedic reason. Just a couple because I just didn't want to work on it anymore.
You still like they weren't working?
Yeah, just not. I mean, I've only had like one or two, but
Fair enough. I think everybody has like moments like that though,
Yeah.
and it's just part of like the whole being an artist thing.
Hmm.
You have like a little bit of integrity. Otherwise, how do you live with yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
How did you even? Hmm?
Oh, go on. I'll ask it later.
How did you? I actually how like another one of my favorites that you did was a time scar. I
Oh,
really like.
that
And it,
one was that one I did when I had my wisdom teeth pulled out.
really,
Yeah, because I couldn't make a saxophone cover, so I just did like a piano cover.
I had no idea. I just knew that like you said that it was you had been studying like certain percussion and
Kind of. I'm not
yeah
really sure why I said that, but I guess
yeah,
so.
and you can tell like you can definitely hear how like the percussion plays like a vital role in the mix. But like no, I didn't know that. That's actually really funny. So you just couldn't play the sax, so you just did
Yeah.
a piano and percussion cover.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great. That's fantastic. Um, that was great. Like, where did you even? I was gonna ask, like, where did you even like get the idea to do Streets of Whiterun?
Um,
Because that
wait, you mean
feels so,
Time Scar or
Streets of Whiterun, like Time Scar,
Okay.
like I already know. Yeah.
Oh, that was from I think I said it earlier, it was Richard EB.
So you just heard that and decided you wanted to do your own?
Pretty much, yeah. Then I listened to the original and it was like pretty breathtaking, and I was like, oh, I'll take some more breath or something like that.
Let me take some more breath. That's a little creepy. All
I don't
right.
know.
Should,
Any
Yeah.
last questions before we can let Carlos be successful with his life instead of?
Let me leave.
Oh, what was the one question I wanted to have?
don't you
Oh.
dare, Brian.
It was, what is the most problematic cover you've had to do?
Ooh. Time to go back to the video manager.
And look through all of them.
Just the one
Oh,
that's listed as private.
I can't really think of one actually. Like, there hasn't like been a specific one that's been hard to do. They all have like their own unique journeys, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Speaking of Journey, when will you cover Journey?
God, I've got another
Okay.
That's what you get, Brian.
I think we got the idea. I actually meant like the video game Journey, but okay, I'll take it.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't know that's what you meant.
question. That would actually be really interesting if you actually.
Yeah, that'll be.
Chris, you thought he was talking about Journey the band too?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
That would be really interesting, though. Yeah, Austin Wintory. Take
Yeah.
that soundtrack to jazz.
Yeah.
That'd be really interesting. Huh.
You've heard the Journey
What was that?
soundtrack,
What was that one?
right?
It starts with an A. Apothony.
Apotheosis.
Apotheosis. Yeah, dude, take Apotheosis. Holy shit. All right. Yeah, I'll let you. I had one more question. And this is just less so on the music
That's
side,
it.
more on the YouTube side.
right.
Has there ever been a point? Like, I mean, like, 'cause, your stuff's out there for you get thousands of views per video, obviously. Has there ever been a point where like, just dealing with the comments or with people has gotten to you, or has been like any time that like you've struggled with the fact that you're out there in front of a lot of people, or have they been generally just supportive throughout the whole process?
I haven't really had any time where I've had like trouble being out there.
That's fantastic.
It's like same thing with like just performances. Like I used to be really like live performances with like my band or like my school band. It used to be like really apprehensive when I went out there, but now I just kind of do it. And I don't really care. I mean, I do care, but like I don't really care what they think of me.
Excellent.
Sometimes I think I seem like that too much, and I just some people think the things I say are somewhat offensive. I guess.
I will be so thoroughly
like now.
I will be
Oh,
so thoroughly upset if Twitch's music recognizer thinks the cover of that Journey
Oh my
song
god.
is the same. So like the last 30 minutes of this are muted, and Twitch is like, no, that
Oh,
was too
no.
good to not be Journey.
Okay, Journey cannot claim those 4 chords. Let's be honest. Like,
Well, that's pretty close.
that was pretty close, but
it was really damn.
and then my voice was spot on. So let's be all right. Jesus.
We're practically already taken down.
If we lose this stream because of that, god damn it. All right. Yeah. Any other pressing questions, I think I'm.
Have you heard the? Sorry, this is the absolute last question I have. Have you heard? I think I linked it once in the Twitch chat. But have you heard of the song that Nintendo made? It's like reggae, Japanese reggae music about slowpoke.
Yes.
I know what you're talking about. I think I have.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yadon.
Oh my god.
Yeah, don't.
Oh my god.
It's
That
That's-
song.
that's-
Tonayane.
That's the last
I think
question.
that's what
That's
they
the
said.
last thing we're getting in there. That's the
That's
last question.
that's what he needs to cover. No.
Really though, dude, if you cover apotheosis, I'm gonna die.
You're gonna stream everywhere.
You're gonna
I'll
stream
stream-
everywhere.
I'll stream all over the place. I'll stream all over the place with me and my COD friends. So,
Terrible inside jokes
Yeah.
that Carlo might not get.
All right, so yeah, I guess thanks for doing this. It's been a lot of fun. It's been pretty great.
No problem. I enjoy shooting people down.
Yeah, no, it's been great. I loved having my ass
Thank
kicked.
you.
We loved having our ass kicked by you.
No, we didn't.
But no, it's been a lot of fun. It was
Yeah,
really, really great talking to you. Like
it's been great.
I've been like watching your stuff for a long time, so it's really cool to get a chance to talk to you.
No problem, sir.
Yeah, and so I guess thanks for watching, everybody who's watching and stuck with us, and hope you guys enjoyed this, and hopefully we'll have some more interesting interviews in the future.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Maybe we'll get insane again in the
Alright.
future. Because I would
It'll
like
be
to do
but,
this
like,
again.
Twice as more derogatory.
Well, we do a stream where we just tell him details about our personal lives, and he just rips us apart.
Chris can talk
Alright.
all about that time he's left 5 years to a certain bitch.
What? No.
Chris,
even-
Chris, did you not realize what I was talking about?
I did, but I don't understand why it's something to bring up. All
You
right.
said details about our personal lives.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Tell you about your Dakimakura. All right. We're going to go ahead and cut the stream then. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody.
And thank you, Carlos,
Ugh.
for joining us.
No problem.
All right.
Then he
Okay,
gets off and
so-
he's like, Jesus, who the fuck were those people?
Yeah.
I've got to change my name. I've got to leave.
Gotta move to Canada and become Santa.
Oh my god. Oh, that was really. I think it went pretty well though.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that
I
was
concur.
that was great.
Yeah. So we can get that edited and everything. That'll be nice.
Yeah, I
So
could
yeah,
probably get
sorry
it up
about
tomorrow.
sorry about the awkward proposition in the middle.
No, that's cool. It's no big deal.
I don't know. I'm sure you get approached like for stuff like that all the time. I don't want to like.
Not just stuff like that, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I mean,
I blanked out. What was the proposition?
a lot of sexy. Oh, it was basically me and Miles wanting to work with him on a jazz cover of
Oh, okay.
Quick in the Blue. Like
Sound
Way to
like
include everybody.
You sound like one of my YouTube commenters.
that's what I'm saying. It's like I know that you get like approached with that stuff all the time, so I don't want.
Yeah, it's all right. I get it.
Way to include everybody.
He'll be
But
sure
yeah.
to shoot you down hardcore when you actually ask.
Yeah.
Well, I gauged by the awkward, by the ignoring that it's not something. Yeah, I don't even think you have time for it, honestly. So I really don't.
got time for that.
Yeah, I really don't even want to bother you with it, unless it actually interests you. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, I gotta bounce.
Yeah.
so
Go.
back to work.
Yeah. Go do your Weebop thing.
Hype.
All right. Hype.
Hype train is
Hype.
through the roof. You know what? We actually had a question on here saying, "Is the hype real?" Why?
How?
Why
How did
is
that
this?
make it on there?
I don't know. Why is this question on here?
Chris, do you think we should be drone bombing Pakistan?
Is that a question on there?
That's a
was
question
a
he
question you
wanted
were
to
gonna
ask.
Should
Oh my
we,
god.
should we be bombing Pakistan?
Why, Rory? Why?
Has You guys act like you've never heard that before. Have you actually never heard that?
Well, no, I know, but I'm just like, why would we bring that up now?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh my god.
I told
Alright,
you not
so-
to ask it.
All right.
Oh, I was asking Chris. I wasn't asking him.
All right.
Yeah,
it was-
but he was here.
You guys.
I'm much funnier.
All right. It was
Much funnier off stream.
Yeah.
We're all funnier
It was-
off stream. At least that's
No,
what we
Brian's
tell
just,
ourselves.
Brian's just Brian.
Oh, bitch,
yeah.
please. You loved my Mario
Thanks, yeah,
video.
So it was great meeting you, Carlos. I hope this wasn't too painful for you.
That wasn't that bad. I just lost a couple limbs.
It was not bad.
All right. Have fun. Yeah, go get your work done. Have your life. Be successful. Leave us behind.
Sure.
All right.
Thanks for having me, ladies.
No worries, dude. Thanks for coming on. It was great. Thank
It
you.
was. 9 out of 11 stream.
Oh, damn it.
Brian, stop.
All right, friends. Peace out.
All right, see ya.
See ya.
He called us friends.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean that.
Pawns.
Bye.
Bye.
He was way cooler than I thought he was gonna be.
Yeah.